Hello and welcome to VIII Reviews. Today we'll be reviewing Marvel Legends Series 8 Man-Thing. So, as it may not be evident from my channel, I am actually a collector of Marvel Legends, but I have all of mine mint in package, at least until today. So good news, you guys are going to be getting Marvel Legends reviews, more than the 3 or however many I've done. And I figured I would start with Man-Thing. Man-Thing is one of my favorite Marvel characters, and he's definitely my favorite, obscure one that not a lot of people are really familiar with. And I don't think I would be into Marvel Legends if this figure didn't exist, because while he was actually my second Marvel Legend, he was the first one I got, into the Marvel Legends thing with, because I noticed that they made Man-Thing, and I was like, if they made Man-Thing, then they must have made all kinds of other stuff, and I started realizing how much stuff was in the Marvel Legends line and how cool it was, and also just how awesome they were in terms of articulation and detail. At least the Toy Biz ones. Hasbro was not as good, and they're getting a bit better now. But anyway, this guy is awesome. Great array of articulation, pretty much everything you would expect from Toy Biz Marvel Legends in their prime. Awesome detail, very cool base. This was before the Build-A-Figures started, the wave right before the Build-A-Figures, wasn't it, I think? And he is just really cool. Let's go ahead and zoom in on his articulation, sculpt paint, all those sorts of things. Alright, here we have Man-Thing. You can see his head up here, which we'll zoom in on in a minute. And it's got the red eyes and the root face and all those sorts of things that it should have. Now, Man-Thing is a dark green with lots of other shades of greens and browns mixed into him over the entire body. He is textured everywhere to be very mossy and organic, with various vines and things running pretty much all over him. If you go down a bit further, you see he's got this little rubber grass bit hanging over his crotch area, which is okay. It adds to the effect, but it's not. It's a bit obvious that it's like a little grass skirt kind of thing. The main complaint I have with this figure, and pretty much the only one really, is that Man-Thing is a very bulky character most of the time, and that's not really portrayed that well in this figure. I mean, he's larger than the average Marvel Legends, but he doesn't have, the bulk of something like Hulk or Thing or something like that, which he kind of should. Either way, he's still got some nice size to him, and his back and chest are kind of bulky, but it doesn't really follow through with the arms and, the lower body and things like that. Either way, he still looks very nice. If you come down to his hands, they are very cool. They're, long fingernails, big claws, very good hands for grabbing someone, and as you know, whatever knows fear burns at the touch of the Man-Thing. His claws are green, and sometimes they're green and sometimes they're brown, so that's fine. If you go down to the legs, lots more texturing. It's sort of like a grass end to the leg there, which is okay. Got the foot down here, which is very foot-like. Got claws down there at the ends of those as well. Flip him over on the back, you got lots more vines, and he's got these big tree branches sticking out of his back, as well as some mushrooms or tubers or something like that. These are rubbery. Not going to break those unless you absolutely want to, so that is good. Now let's zoom in on his head really quickly. Looking at the face here, you can see he's got his roots on his face. Very distinctive 3-root pattern, almost like an M. And he's got his penetrating red eyes. And if you look at the top of his head, you can see bulbous little things, and you can also just see some of the more detailed parts of the body, just to give you a better idea of some of the texture and things like that. He is absolutely covered in detail, and that is a good thing for someone like this. Let's zoom out and look at his articulation. Alright, articulation-wise, Man-Thing is practically perfect. Without just going overboard, I think he's got basically every point you could want. Head's on a ball joint, hinges up pretty far, down very far, rotates all the way around. Of course, the way his head is, it's on the front of his body, so it's a bit different than most heads. Ball joint shoulders, in and out, forward and back, bicep cut, double joint elbows. Got a cut right here at the forearm, as well as a hinge, which is very nice. This is a finger joint. The first finger moves separately, the rest of them move together. Lots of Legends are like that. Honestly, his hands are probably big enough that they could have done all the fingers, but I'm fine with it that way. And his thumb also rotates. He has a very nice abdominal joint, which will move all the way down. He also has a waist cut, but it's underneath the grass skirt, so you can't really see it that well. Legs go in and out, forward and back, nice ball joints. Got a cut there at the upper thigh, double jointed knees, cut down here at the calf. Ankles will hinge in and out, rock, and you got the toe joint there. So he has got practically every point that anyone expects from a Marvel Legend at this point, and he is just great on practically every front. Let's take a look at his base really quickly. Alright, Man-Thing's base is also just covered with very nice detail. You can see the plants there, tree trunks all sculpted very nicely. It's got water there on the base and also has this little frog jumping out. I believe Marvel Legends Toad has a base that's not exactly like this, I don't think, but very similar. It has frogs and water and trees and things like that in it. He is not one of the legends I have, so I can't be too specific, but I believe it's kind of similar. It also has a peg on it, and it has a wall mounting thing on the back. Not that this is a base that actually makes any sense to mount on the wall. It also has a bit of weight to it. Everything on here is solid. Alright, let's take a look at the packaging really quickly. Alright, packaging-wise, the packaging is like the same as every Toy Biz Marvel Legends that was ever made that was single-carded. Got your huge window here. Man-Thing's is especially thick. In the back, you can see the comic he comes with, which is an Ultimate Marvel Team-Up, which is Man-Thing and Spider-Man. Of course, all Ultimate Marvel Team-Ups would have been Spider-Man. This one does come with a card. I think the card is like sometimes they come with them, sometimes they don't. I've seen lots of things that are just sort of varies. But it has a nasty surprise Marvel trading card, battle gamey thing. Marvel Legends Man-Thing down there at the bottom. Flipped over on the back, you can see the other figures in this wave. This is actually a really good wave. I would say that probably every figure in this wave is a character that's worth having. Got Storm, Man-Thing, Captain America, Black Widow, Iceman, Iron Man, and Dr. Octopus. That's not my favorite version of Iron Man, but it's a pretty decent one, I'd say. And, of course, I'm not a big fan of Captain America, but he's very relevant, so he's worth getting. You also have your little stat sheet up there for Man-Thing, like they did with all of the Marvel Legends. And you get some descriptions and things like that. So, yes, very standard packaging for Marvel Legends, which I am very fond of, and didn't like it whenever they changed it, whenever they went to Hasbro. But either way, very nice, good for in or out of package display. So, yeah, Man-Thing. Alright, that wraps it up for Man-Thing, so until next time, goodbye. Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe and all those sorts of things if you enjoyed my video. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.